Hi everyone, I'm Charlie Parr, and today we're going to dig a snow pit because snow is very cool and it's all around us here in Alaska. So the first thing I'm going to do is look for a patch of snow that hasn't been walked across or dogs haven't ran through it. We've got a patch of pretty good looking snow right here in front of me. So I'm going to take my first tool, which is my shovel, and I'm just going to try to dig out all the snow so we can get a good look and see what's happening. So you'll notice the shovel I'm using has a really big scoop, and I'm using this sort of paddle or hoe motion because then I don't disturb what I'm going to try to look at in the snow later on. Now that I have my pit dug, I'm gonna go ahead and just clean up the pit a little bit so I can get a closer look at all the different layers in our snowpack. Each snow event this winter has made its own unique layer in the snow, and already we can start to see some of them if we look closely, but I'm gonna use my snow knife to clean the pit wall up, and if you don't have a knife, you can use a spatula or anything else that is flat and maybe a little bit more precise than your shovel. Okay, now I'm pretty happy with how my pit looks, so I'm gonna open up my snow pit kit and grab some more tools to take a look at the snow. Pit kit here, I have a lot of great tools that are gonna help me take a look at the snow. The first thing that I'm gonna do is use a ruler to measure how deep the snow is. And you might have a ruler that looks like this. It unfolds, and this ruler is in centimeters, so do science, we use centimeters and meters, and the markings are pretty close together. So we're gonna put 0 at the bottom and see how tall the top of our snowpack is. And I'll just look for a spot somewhere, maybe right in the middle. We're on a little bit of a hill, so it might be tricky to get the ruler to balance, so you might have to fiddle with it a little bit. 0 is at the base of our snow, all the way down here, and it looks like we have 47.5 centimeters of snow on the ground today here in Fairbanks, Alaska. So this is really good. I know how deep the snow is, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a little broom or a little brush, and when I brush this across the snow, it's gonna show us the layers in a little bit more detail. So I'm just gonna use some light strokes going back and forth across the face of my snow pit here. And I'm brushing really lightly. You'll kind of get a feel for it. You don't want to brush too much snow away, so just really light strokes. And we just had some snow a few days ago, and it's really soft and fluffy, and so a lot of that is falling away as I brush. But hopefully as I brush, you can see some distinct layers start to emerge in our picture here. Maybe I'll brush a little bit more so we can really see what's going on here. Maybe a little bit more aggressive with my brushing. Still being pretty gentle though. Excellent. And maybe just one more here, especially in this middle section, which is really cool. Okay, so as I'm brushing, I'm looking to see where maybe some different layers are, and I'm also feeling with the brush what snow gives away and falls off really easily, and what snow really sticks to the rest of the snow in the wall of our snow pit here. Next, we are going to mark all the layers in our snowpack that we have revealed with our brush. So as I mark the layers, what I'll do is I'll take this spatula and I'm going to use this to confirm what my eyes are seeing by feeling how resistant the different layers are to breaking as I bring this spatula down through the snowpack. And as I do that, I'll mark each different layer with one of these popsicle sticks. So I'm going to do this just right next to my ruler here. And we know that our top of the snowpack is at 47.5 centimeters. So I'll start and I will go ahead and just pass this spatula down through our new snow. And right there, I feel a change in the snow. So I'm going to mark that with the popsicle stick. And I'm going to keep going down. I feel another change right there. In fact, I felt a little crust break. And I'm going to keep going down. I feel another change right there. It's really hard right there. Okay, and I'll keep going down here. In fact, I'm just going to come below this really hard layer. I think it's an ice crust. And I'll put one underneath it to mark where the ice crust ends. And I'm going to keep coming down. And I feel another change about right there. And it looks like that's it to the bottom. So I've marked a few different layers. There's one at the bottom here, 2, 3, this little one that I think is an ice crust, 4, 5, and then our new snow is 6. So I have 6 layers in our snow depth and in our snow cover. So I'm going to take a look at each one of these layers, and I'm also going to measure a few other things about the snow. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to do is measure the temperature at a few different places in our snowpack. So the temperature at the very top of the snow should be pretty close to the air temperature. And today it's pretty cold up here on top of the hill at the university. It's about 10 below Fahrenheit, which is probably about around minus 22 Celsius. And I'm going to measure with a couple different kinds of thermometers. The first is this dial stem thermometer. You might have something that looks like this. It takes the temperature where the tip of this is. So if you put your hand around this tip, the temperature should warm up. And I'm just gonna slide this into the top of our snow. It's really soft, so it might sink down a little bit in the snow, but that's okay. So I'm just gonna slide this in and then let it sit for a few minutes so it can get a good temperature. Really wanting to fall out of the snow. It's really soft. Okay, that's all right. I also lost one of my popsicle stick layers. I'm gonna go ahead and put that back in, okay, where I know that layer was, right here. And maybe we can just rest this on top a little bit out of the way for the rest of our pit. Let's see how this does here. Okay, that's a little bit better. I've also got a digital thermometer that will go back and forth between Celsius and Fahrenheit. And I'm gonna put this one in at the bottom of the snowpack to see what the temperature is where the snow and ground come together. And you can start to think about which you think might be warmer, the top of the snow or the bottom of the snow. Okay, we'll let those sit for a bit and then come check on them. So our thermometers have been sitting in the snow for a little while now, so we're going to take a look at them and see what they say. So with the thermometer at the top of the snow, we want to measure what the temperature is where the air meets the snow. And if I look closely at this one, I can see it says negative 21 degrees Celsius. So that's the temperature at the top of our snowpack, is negative 21 degrees Celsius. Down at the bottom, I have another thermometer, and it says minus 11.8 degrees Celsius. So there's about a 10 degrees Celsius difference in temperature between the bottom and the top of the snowpack. And the bottom is 10 degrees warmer than the top.